right, friends. Let's go. Let's fire this baby up. Boom. What's up, my friends? Let me adjust this webcam real quick. Thank you, YouTube. All right, cool. All right, KBO 520. Let's discuss the slate. We're going to be using here, let me open this up for y'all. Hope you're all doing well. And if you're catching this later tonight, I hope that this serves you well and hopefully you guys win some money. It's baseball. It's baseball, and not only that, it's Korean baseball. Our statistics and research is okay with what we have, but my goodness, we do not have what we're used to having with MLB, where we're kind of looking at like launch angle and the last 15 days, hard hit percentage, hard percentage, and things like that. All those things that we kind of use to find those little nuggets where we think, oh, this guy potentially can hit a home run against, player A or player B, or this bullpen is taxed because of X, Y, and Z, and they're bad at this, and this team's really good at that. I mean, we have all these next level things to look at when it comes to Major League Baseball. With the KBO, we don't really have that. And, doing our best to kind of uncover sources, being able to grab research, right? Grab stats and hopefully try to make this a more complete product. So I posted the NASCAR link today in chat about 2 minutes ago, and that was a free link. It was a free cheat sheet, a little bit of analysis. We talked a bit about it in Discord for members, and this one's going to be a little bit more for specific to the Legends and Risers. And we're going to talk about the slate tonight gently. I'm not going to go too deep into this one. And then we're going to look at some analysis and hopefully set you on your way to be able to at least have a strong foundation before you go into your lineup creation tonight, okay? All right. So, first things first, we've got ourselves another 5-game slate. Seems like they're all 5-game slates. So we talked about this last night. If you are MMEing for KBO, you don't really need to do the all or nothing type thing we do during Major League Baseball when we have 8, 10, 12-game slates, a Saturday 13-gamer. We don't have that. So you kind of have to take the extreme ends of both spectrums where all complete fade or all in. You can kind of get rid of those on these smaller slates. The extremes are completely unnecessary to some extent, and we're able to look at things in a smaller scale, right? And what I mean by that is, in a 13-game slate, if there's some offenses there's 26 teams on 13 games. You're going to cut some of those teams completely out of your 5-man stack category. And maybe you'll say, the Mets suck, but, whomever they're facing that day is somebody who gives up a ton of fly balls or something, and they've got, X, Y, and Z in their lineup, and they smash fly ball pitchers, and they can hit the sinker, blah, blah, blah. And they end up having these situations where you still want some small-sided stack exposure of like a 5-2 situation with 2 Mets on the small-sided of the stack, especially if you're doing like a 150 max. Well, for KBO, you don't have that. Number one, because there's not enough power up and down these lineups. And number two, these teams, the upside is just not there like it is where we're targeting the Astros, the Yankees, the Red Sox. It's not like you're getting these teams where on any given night they're going to go 15 runs or so. So we don't need to be 90% overweight or exposure to the Red Sox or something. We can go a little bit heavy-handed. And I found that out last night myself by just going. I think I ended up with 18 out of 20 stacks. I had the was it Lottie Giants. Where are they? Yeah, the Lottie Giants. I think I had 18 out of 20 stacks last night with them, and 2 5, and I'm talking 5-mans, and I had 2 5-mans with the Dinos. And tonight is going to be similar, but I want to try to find more middle ground, right? So definitely 5-man stacks for all 20 out of 20 lineups or 150 out of 150. I'm still a big 5-2 or a 5-3 stack believer, but as far as the amount of teams I want exposure to in those 5-man stacks, I want to try to cast a wider net tonight. So we're going to look at 3 offenses that I'm going to be rolling out 5-man stacks with, and then we're going to look at 5 pitchers that I'm looking at tonight. So the data sheet is basically what you use to figure out this stuff. This is given to the Rise or Fall Discord members. I think this is a link to that. I don't remember if this one was locked or not. Half of them are free, half are not. These will all be locked up soon, though. So let's go over to the analysis side. Basically, there's 3 teams I wanted to target tonight, and I will be targeting these in 5-man stacks. The Kiwoom Heroes will likely be my highest exposure team and highest exposure of 5-man stacks tonight because of the opposing pitcher, John Hoon Park. Now, he has a 1.70 whip and 11 Ks through 10 innings. These are serviceable numbers. I mean, a 1.7 whip is pretty high, but we're talking about a 10-inning sample, right? But he faces the Kiwoom Heroes, and they have a 5.76 implied run total. The front half of the order for the Heroes is pretty darn good. I mean, you look at their WOBA, their ISO, and all that stuff, and the sample size of the at-bats are all 40-plus for all 5 of them, and they're good hitters, clearly, but the back half is awful, and I think it's Donwan Park. He's their catcher. I believe their catcher. He can hit. He's one of their best hitters, batting third. Pay attention to this lineup. You need to see who's in there. I wrote down the names that I'm personally looking for, and I would check that. Now, you know, if I'm living that 2- and 4-year-old dad life, so it is hit or miss if I'm going to be able to get up in the morning to check this stuff. So if you are not living the dad life, or if you're living the dad life like I am, and you're able to get up early enough to check the starting lineups and the weather and all that, then this is something specific that you're looking for. And if these guys are in the lineup, at least 4 of them, I would go for these 4 if possible. If you can get the 4 of them in the lineup, I'm going 5-man stacks, probably about 60%. So I'm looking at like 12 out of my 20 teams, or was that 90 out of 150? Would end up being on the Kiwoom Heroes tonight. KT Wiz, the second stack that I'm looking to target tonight with the 5-mans, because of the opposing pitcher. A little spelling error. This one gets me. I'm going to have to fix that. OCD on the way, baby. My one of my tech whiz pointed that out. Min J. Yang? I'll look that one up. I don't like mispronouncing names, but he's looked pedestrian. I mean, whip and ERA are lower than they were in 2019, but the sample size in 2019 kind of shows that this guy he's nothing special. And the guy actually gets bombed, according to I guess relative to KBO standards. This guy gives up home runs left and right. I mean, 14 bombs and 119 innings pitched. And I looked it up. It's the highest home run per 9 innings rate out of every single starting pitcher tonight. So 1.06, believe it or not, while that is not big by Major League Baseball standards, against a bunch of those beefcakes swinging that lumber, KBO, a 1.06 home run per 9 rate is actually quite high. And it's hard to, and I alluded to this in the beginning, it's hard to identify some of these guys who could potentially, pop off or hit a home run tonight, because you're looking at like their launch angle, their barrels, all the next level advanced metrics and things that we like to look at for Major League Baseball, hard hit increase, hard percentage increase, things like that. We don't have that. So it's difficult to look at the lineup of the Wiz and say, yep, this is the guy. He's heating up. He's about to get a hold of one, whatever. It's very difficult. So just a general KT Wiz 5-man stack. Whomever is in the starting 9 is what I'm kind of looking at. I'm not trying to pinpoint any single player or anything like that. The LG Twins, they are 8-4 against Chae Hoon Choi. Now, Choi does have a 12 Ks through 11 innings. 1.27 whip is pretty solid. But he had a 1.53 in 2019. I think that was off 22 starts. And his K per 9 rate was 7.54. So, while he does look like, oh man, this guy can strike him out, right? Over 1 per inning right now. That's 11 innings. And I want to say one of the games he had like 3, and the next he had 9 or 4 and 8. So, he had a nice big outing. But, if we're looking back on last season, 7.54 K per 9 for Choi. So, I think he's a bit overrated, maybe playing a little bit above his head. Let's look at some of these pitchers. I think this is where it's going to be won tonight. There are a lot of good pitching options tonight, and I think you've got to figure out where you can be better than the rest of them. And because I think that there's some nuggets, right? There's a couple guys who stand out big time, but I think there's a few more that they look sneaky, and one of them is Drew Gagnon, and he had a couple let's see. Okay, no, that was the one. Yeah. So I think that his ownership percentage will be low because of his matchup, and he got smashed in the opening frame. I think he gave up like 4 runs in the first inning or something. But then, man, he settled down over the next 4 innings. He struck out 8 hitters and only gave up 3 hits. That strikeout upside, that's what you want on DraftKings. The Lottie Giants have a 21.5% strikeout rate. It was that first inning that ballooned his statistics, and I think people will look at those surface level statistics and they'll say to themselves, this Gagnon, he stinks. And I just don't think that is indicative of his potential. And I think that if he can come out there and start the game like he finished last game, striking out 8 hitters in his last 4 innings pitched, he has potential for solid strikeout potential. And if he can get that win, more power to him, man, especially on something like FanDuel. If he can get to that quality start, beautiful. Tyler Wilson statistically looked awful, but that is because he got shelled in 4.1 innings in his first start, gave up 7 earned runs. This kid is from Virginia, where I reside right now. And listen, the second start of the season, Tyler Wilson looked much better. He went 6 frames, gave up just 2 earned runs, and struck out 7 hitters. He played in the Korean League last season, and he was fantastic, which is why I feel like the sample size, we have a pitcher who has a fantastic sample size, 30 starts last year, 2.92 ERA, and a whip of 1.16. So the kid is good. He is very good against the 4-8 Samsung Lions. And Tyler Wilson is one of those guys that if I'm doing cash game or a single entry lineup, Tyler Wilson's the guy I'm plugging in first, and I'm going to go from there. Okay, so we have Sun Ho Lee. They're pitching against SK, 1-11. We targeted them last night. We saw Choi not really rise to the occasion. They barely are clearing over a 4.0 IRT. When I wrote this at 2 p.m. Eastern, I think it was at like 4.2 or something like that, but I would imagine it's changed a little bit, so check your Vegas odds. Left-handed pitcher Sun Ho Lee is in a good spot against a powerless SK lineup. They are weak up and down that lineup. Strikeout rate, what was that? I thought I wrote that down. Let's take a peek. So we're going to look for SK, and then we will look at their 21.8%. Nope. Kiwoom. That was 21.8%. Okay, so 21.8% strikeout rate, not bad. Could be worse. That seems to be just about average as well. So, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're 1-11. They stink, and Tyler Wilson has fantastic upside. I mean, we just look at the 2019 season and 30 starts in KBO. I mean, this kid has been there for 2 years now. He's a very good pitcher over there. All right, so Sun Ho Lee, Sun Ho Lee is my preferred number 2 option because of SK, and his pedestrian numbers last season, I can't remember what they were. I did not write them down there, but his pedestrian numbers last year make him kind of that number 2 option, not going out of my way to be number 1. That's going to be what Tyler Wilson is. Number 2 would be Lee, because I think he has the win potential, and that's what I'm looking for. If you're doing MME, I want some exposure to him. I'm not going out of my way because I don't know if he has a ton of upside without the strikeout rate. I likely go with the last guy on my list, which I'm saving for last because he's electric. But I think the ownership's going to be pretty high on these last 2 guys. What's up, George Trotman? Thanks for dropping by and saying hello. My Twitch family, I looked it up last night. It was like 1,300 and something followers. I mean, those Twitch streams were getting big for a while there, pre-pandemic, and firing up a post-pandemic stream on YouTube. It's going to take me a while to get my footing, but anytime I can see people interacting with me here and they're checking out my content, I'm very thankful. And I need to get used to it. I need to start saying, click the subscribe button over here for daily streams and daily morning videos, because you'll get both of them with me. Down below in the description area, you'll get a link to my Discord, which is a free access, and there's also a link to where you can get all of my content, some free, some behind closed doors, including a massive fantasy football package full of strategy guides. We're talking data centers, bunch of articles, videos, projections for the entire NFL 2020 season. So go ahead and check that out. It's less than $5, so I think it's a valuable resource. Now, Dan Straley, really hard not to like him. Guy's been pitching well. 17 innings pitched, 19 Ks over in Korea. What I like the most is Dan Straley has only given up 13 hits. So clearly the Korean bats are struggling to pick up the delivery from Dan Straley, as weird as that sounds. And I think that he's likely a great cash game option, but I think the name recognition used to follow you on Twitch before everything. My man, George, thank you very much. I'm happy you found me here. It's hard, man. I'm gonna have to send out an announcement to my old Twitch following and say, hey, come over here. So thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate your support, and all the new patrons. I mean, we're over 40 already. We've been live for all of pretty much 3 days. So you guys are very supportive, and I'm very thankful. And if you're new and you don't know who I am, hit me up on Twitter at DFSN Donuts, and I'm there to talk all day, every day, baby. So I think Dan Straley is actually going to be a little bit higher owned, potentially a little chalky at the pitcher position because of the name recognition. I think name recognition in a situation like this is huge, and I think he's going to be highly recognized as Dan Straley. A terrible pitcher in the Major League Baseball arena, but over there in KBO, he's a good pitcher. Here's the gem, though, and I'm intrigued to see what the ownership is like on him, because I think he is the best play of the night. Okay, number one, I think he's the most talented pitcher on the slate. But number two, he might have a lower ownership, might be suppressed a little bit because it's against the Doosan Bears. They only have a 15.8% strikeout rate. That is elite. It's the lowest on the slate out of the 10 teams, and it's lowest by 4%. I mean, Doosan does not strike out. They're very dangerous on offense, but my goodness, Chang Mo Koo. I'll look that one up too. We're about to see what type of metal this kid has. He's young. He's electric. The American sports journalists are starting to pick this guy up and show pitches of his and nasty sliders and breaking balls and stuff. And they're showing these things on Twitter and talking about this kid, of saying they got to get him over in the States. I think he is the real deal, and he looks electric. And man, over 14 innings pitched, 18 Ks, just 6 base hits. I mean, that is phenomenal. Only 6 hits in 14 innings and 18 Ks. He's gone 96 pitches in both his first 2 starts, an average of 96. So he can go the distance. I think he can pick up that quality start, the win, rack up 7 to 8 Ks. Maybe he does not have 9, 10 strikeout potential against a team that only has a 15.8% strikeout rate. I think that might lower his ceiling a bit. But still, if we're going to have the best pitcher on the slate in a suppressed ownership type play because of the concerns of Doosan, I'm going all over him, and I hope he ends up being one of my highest owned pitchers tonight. And I'll probably tweak the projections a little bit in Fantasy Cruncher to make sure that I get him at the capacity that I want to. Let's switch gears real quick. So I hope you guys check this out. And if you're just following me and just figuring out who I am, please, down below it says full access to content. Click that button. You can check out what I have to offer. Open a separate tab and look at it after the show. It's very clean and crisp. I made sure that it's very easy for you guys to see. This is my page where it's the ownership page, but it's very cool. It can show you exactly what I have. I have 5 different tiers, 2 for DFS and 1 for fantasy football, and a couple combinations if you're somebody who does all fantasy and DFS. These cheat sheets you're seeing, I have them for every sport: NASCAR, MMA, PGA. We already have it for soccer. We've put out 3 of them already. We'll have another one for this Friday. The sheet for Friday is actually done. These are completely automated, so you guys will get these whenever you want. You get them for soccer, MMA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR, PGA, NFL, MLB, KBO. We're going to try to do some COD. We have WNBA sheets already cooked up. We've already pulled our information. Everything's set up. I mean, we are ready to go. Rise or Fall is definitely on the ascension, baby. And I hope that you guys check it out, because I really think we can help you win some money. It's a very unique delivery where it's going to be a tab of data, a tab of analysis, very clear, concise, clean, and it's quick. It's quick consumption made for very busy people who want some next level things, right? And then you go into our Discord for everything, and you can talk and discuss and get coaching from me at a certain level and coaching with others. And it's a really cool atmosphere. And I hope that you guys start to check this out and continue to join. Let's bring up Fantasy Cruncher, the greatest optimizer in the history of the world. Had a couple people reach out last night, another one in Discord asking if I had any promos. So I reached out to FC, and I'll get back to you if we have any. So FC, this is a dope optimizer. I really do like it. I love it for MLB specifically. What I am doing to set things up tonight, I've got my KBO 5:30 a.m. Ugh, brutal 5:30 for that dad life. I'm going to run a 20 lineup initial. We'll go my projections in case I have to tweak anything. Go over to pitchers. You know that I do this. I uncheck all my pitchers, and then I put in my guys, right? So we got Tyler Wilson, Sung-Ho Lee, Dan Straley, Chang-Mo Koo, and Drew Gagnon. Those are my 5 pitchers. And let me just double check that off the top of my head. Yep. Sung-Ho Lee, did I get him? Yes. Okay, beautiful. So I did take out the other 5 pitchers. I wanted nothing to do with them. I'm going to go over to advanced options. 3 uniques is how I roll. 100% global cap. I don't like to restrict myself. Randomness until these projections are super accurate, which is going to be very difficult with the amount of information that we have. I'm going 20%. You could even jack that up 30% or so. I think it's a very volatile game. I mean, I think KBO honestly is like the most volatile game we've ever had. A lot of the people playing it are very sharp. They're all using Fantasy Cruncher, so if you're MMEing, you're going against very sharp people using very good information. Tonight, doing a little bit different. I'm going to give myself much more flexibility. I'm not going to cap any stacks at like 2 or 3 like I did last night. So it's just basically if they're involved in tonight's slate, they have an opportunity of being a 5-man stack. Go over to the team stacks. If you've never done this before, it's very simple. Click Add All on the amount of players that you want. So if I want to run out 5 2s tonight, I'm going to hit this stack size, 2 players. I'm going to take out this count pitcher, okay? And batting order 1 through 9, sure, whatever. I've got add all, so all teams are involved now. You can change the amount of stacks that you want. So like let's say you don't want any team more than 60% at 5 or 2-player stacks, you could change that, but I don't care about the 2-man side. Go over to the 5-player side, so we're looking at 5 2 stacks. I'm going to add all teams. If I want to here, I can cap it at 60 and see how it runs, and then I'll come back and edit that if I need to. So what I've said now is I will have no team with more than 12 out of 20 5-man stacks. That's 60%. All right, let's do this thing. Calculate. Yep, there it is. So, oh, baby, let's go. So my favorite offense I was talking about. Ooh, this is what I like. This is what I like. My favorite offense of the night, using my sheet. The Kiwoom Heroes. Look at this, KT Wiz. LG Twins. Are they my next ones? Let's go. Yes. So it looks like 19 out of my first 20 lineups are my top 3 offenses on the slate. This is going to be a good night, baby. That is pretty sick. So when these things match up like this, sometimes that makes out for a beautiful night. Let's hope it's a nice one. We can look at our stack combos and see, okay, who's Kiwoom stacked with? So they have some 5-3. They have 3. So what this is saying is out of my 5-3 stacks, I have 5 lineups. So was it 25%? Out of 20. So I have 3 of them with Kiwoom and LG, which is great because LG is my 3rd team tonight. I have KT with a 5-man stack with a 3-man stack of the Heroes on the other side. And then I have an LG 5-man and a Kiwoom Hero 3-man. Go down here, this is the 5-2 combos, and you can kind of check these out. And if you're not getting any combos, you're not getting the combos you want, you can adjust these things afterwards. All right, this was just an initial stack, my friends. I mean, again, 5 a.m., you've got to get up. You can't just let it rip right now and come back and say to yourself, this is how it needs to be. I'm going to save this photo here, drop this in Discord, say this is just about perfection to me. So let's take a peek at pitchers real quick. Pitchers. All right, so we only got 2 lineups with Chang-Mo Koo. 17, Tyler Wilson, which I said I think I like his upside, his strikeout upside. Okay, well, lower Dan Straley's projections. I'm going to have to up Chang's. Let's look at their prices real quick. Chang is 10K, Dan Straley all the way down here at 7K. I think he's just going to be so chalky. 7K with that name recognition. I think we're looking at 35, 40% ownership tonight. No thanks. Nice pivot right here, 6.7K, Drew Gagnon. Be solo owned, underdog. Okay. All right, my friends. Hey, today was fun. Thanks for checking this out. Please hit that subscribe button. give this YouTube stream and link away to your friends. That literally more supportive than even subscribing to me on Patreon is helping me build whatever that following I had on Twitch is to just relocate it to YouTube. I really love being able to stream on YouTube because when I'm done, that video is there. It's easy for me to share. I can share it on all sorts of social websites. I can do editing. I can do so much more on YouTube with it. So please help me build that following. I'll be very humbled for anybody who subscribes tonight, and I appreciate you. And thank you very much for your time. I hope that I help you win. If you do win tonight, please hit me up on Twitter at DFS and Donuts. Leave a comment in the section below. Questions are fine as well. Down below in the description, remember you have the access to Discord and the Patreon link. I hope I see some of you joining through Patreon and talking to me in Discord in the Legends channel where I do my coaching, and you'll get a lot of next level analysis. A lot of stuff I show you on these streams, they are simply they're a little bit softer, okay? Like I don't want to give away all the juice when we're talking about strategy and stuff like that, just in an open forum. Sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. Guess it depends on the night. All right, this dad is going to go take care of stuff. Tomorrow, let me look at the Discord schedule that I posted. Let me slide this over so you can take a peek here. DFS links. All right, so tomorrow we have the Cup Series at Darlington NASCAR sheet and analysis. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be posting a NASCAR sheet, and I will be doing analysis. That second tab analysis you saw, it's going to be a little bit different for NASCAR. I'm also going to do a KBO sheet analysis, and at 6 p.m. tomorrow, I'm going to live stream for NASCAR and KBO. That's right. And I might do something a little silly where I do like a NASCAR stream, end it, and then fire up another one for KBO really quick and just make sure I don't lose any followers. So, all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything. Please check out that Patreon link down below. Hit that subscribe button up there. Top right for your YouTube. And truly, very blessed that you're here watching me and supporting me, and I'm humbled that you give me your time. Together, we rise or fall, my friends. I hope you have a good night.